Hey guys, Justin here, back again with another video. And with this one, I wanted to talk about a game that I've been obsessed with for the past few weeks. Like, can't pull myself away from it. MLB The Show 2023. Now, I almost passed on this game. Almost. I'm not the kind of guy who buys, these annual sports titles. But something about this one just kept calling me and calling me and calling me. And having it on the Switch, it just seemed like the perfect opportunity to jump back into the show. I just got caught up with the new baseball season this year, and I just had to have it. Now, this isn't a game I would recommend paying full price for, but if you catch it on sale, it's a great deal. One of the most important things to me in a game, any game, but especially a sports game like this, is does it have a rich single-player experience? The multiplayer online is going to be awesome, but I want a little more than that. MLB The Show 2023 totally delivers on that. Just an absolutely fantastic single-player experience. There's literally enough game here to keep you busy for hundreds and hundreds of hours. The show was developed by Sony's San Diego studio. And these guys have been making baseball games for years, going back to the mid-2000s, I think. And with this one, it really shows. The Show 2023 is available on the PlayStation 5, obviously, but it's also on the Xbox Series S and X. It's even included in Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, go download it, just try it out and see what you think. I thought about getting the show for my PlayStation 5, but something about the portability of the Switch, being able to pick it up and play it anywhere really appealed to me, and I was really curious about the performance on the Switch. Okay, let's get the criticisms out of the way early. I know what you're thinking, and it is absolutely an issue. This game doesn't offer a ton more than last year's did, which also came out on the Switch. I mean, outside of an updated roster, these annual sports games don't typically add all that much, so you're really just buying the same game year after year after year. But if you play sports video games, you already know that. You expect that. But there are a few really big additions to this game that make it heads and shoulders better than last year's. The Switch version of this game is not the best experience, obviously. In handheld mode, the performance really suffers. There are tons of frame rate issues with this game, but thankfully a lot of them are in between plays. So when you're in the batter's box or you're on the mound, you don't notice them as much and they don't really affect gameplay. But between plays, when you're panning across the crowd or you've got somebody stepping into the batter's box, it just takes you out of it a little bit, breaks the immersion. Another big performance issue was just the textures. They're really blurry. It's not unexpected, but it just sucks. Some of these character models literally look like they're from the PlayStation 3 era. It's weird though, because some of the character models are actually really good and you can instantly recognize who they are. And then other times, just not so much. Here's another thing I didn't expect with the Switch version. A lot of it isn't actually on the cartridge. In fact, there's a really substantial download that you have to do just to play the game. On the front of the box, down at the bottom, really small, it says, download required, see back. And it actually requires a 22 gigabyte download. So I'm wondering how much of the game is actually on this cartridge, if anything at all, or is this just a key that lets you download the game digitally? Looking back though, it was the same with the Show 2022. There's a huge download for that one for the Switch as well. Again, I shouldn't have been surprised, but it just really sucks to buy a cartridge thinking there's at least part of the game on it, something that's playable, but before you can do anything, before you can swing a bat or pitch a ball, you've got to go through a 22 gigabyte download. That just sucks. I haven't played a baseball sim game in a long time, and 2023 is a nice reintroduction. I decided to use the dynamic difficulty so the game would slowly ratchet up as I got better, as I learned the game, learned my skills. I wish more games did this, not just sports games. It's so much more intuitive for a game to slowly edge up on difficulty rather than just choosing, beginner, normal, or hard. The gameplay loop here is really addicting, especially in the Road to the Show mode. That's the mode where you build your own character and you work up through the minors and then eventually play in the big leagues. You're jumping from the batter's box to the field so fast, it feels like the action never slows down. And as soon as one game's over, I'm ready to jump into the next one. One of the big things about this game probably the main difference in this game. Apart from the updated rosters, the big difference in MLB The Show 2023 and 2022 is 2023 has a new storylines mode. This is probably the most compelling single-player portion of the entire game. Storylines, the Negro Leagues, put you in control of one of 8 legendary athletes from the Negro Leagues. The gameplay consists of a few challenges matched up with some documentary-style content presented by Negro Leagues Baseball Museum President Bob Kendrick. Bob gives you the historical context for the stories you're playing through, and some of these you might know, some of these you might not. I didn't know a lot of them. Now, baseball fans will recognize the names though: Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige, Buck O'Neil. But I'm willing to bet some of the things in these stories will surprise you. I know I learned a lot. With any annual sports game like this, it's so hard to make a new release feel fresh and different, but including the Negro League is a huge highlight here. This is giving baseball fans a chance to play as some of the great players that haven't, at least to my knowledge, ever been highlighted in a baseball game before. So, should you buy the show? Well, if you're a baseball fan and you've got a Switch and you want to take it on the go, absolutely. It's a great value for the amount of time you can put into this. The $60 price tag is well worth it. If you bought the show 22 though, it's a tougher call. I mean, the additional storylines with the Negro Leagues are really great, and I think on their own worth the $60. But if you're not interested in playing that portion of the game, there's not a whole lot here that's going to give you a richer, deeper experience than what you had last year. But for me, the show 23 is baseball that I can take with me, and I can't ask for more than that. Like I said, I've been having a great time with this game. I'm really thinking about double dipping with this one and getting the PS5 version too. I just want to see how good this game can look on the PS5. But having it on the Switch, especially if this is your only option, you don't have a PS5 or an Xbox, the Switch version is very good as well. Are you guys into annual sports games? I don't usually buy them. I think the last one I got was FIFA 19, but I was really tempted with the show. But let me know in the comments, what was the last sports game you picked up, and was it worth it? All right guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing.
Oh yeah.